I designed this flyer recently for a client, and in this video I want to walk you through my creative process for making this. What I mean is I want to show you step by step how I designed this flyer, piece by piece, one element at a time. Are you ready? Let's go. So just like every other design, I began this one with a blank white canvas. Based on the color palette that I am to work with, I decided to change this white to this light faded blue. The next thing I did was to add two shapes to the canvas, a bigger shape at the top, a smaller shape at the bottom, just like what you're seeing right now on your screen. The next thing I did was to add the brand logo at the top left of the canvas, and then I added the brand tagline at the top right of the canvas. The next thing I did was to add another shape just above the two shapes that I had already placed on the canvas. And then I added a tiny shape on the previous shape. Now don't get too confused, especially if you are a beginner designer. What I have done right now is to create the layout for my design. This is like creating the foundation for your house. Without the foundation, you would not have a direction as to what you want to build. So this is very important. This is my creative process for designing every flyer that I work on. And of course, I did not forget my footer, which is the base of my design. I decided to add that shape, as you can see, which is where I'm going to include my contact details, or the contact details of the brand that I am designing for. So yes, this is where we are adding our first real text. This is the heading or the headline or whatever you want to call it. Basically, this is the main text and it is sitting at the top of the design, as you can see. And then I added a subtext or a subtitle or a subheading, whatever you want to call it, just beneath the main text. And then I listed the services that is being offered by this brand, and as you can see, I used a check icon to serve as a bullet point for listing out these items. The next thing I did was to add an extra note based on the brief that was given to me. And then I added my contact details at the base of the design, or at the footer as most people would call it. Then I added this symbol, guaranteed 100% quality. Some brands prefer to add this to their flyer just to spotlight that they actually offer top-notch or high-quality services or products. Then I added my image. This is a bowl of cleaning products to perfectly depict what the brand does. So this is a high quality image that I generated using ChatGPT. You can do this, you can generate your image if you want to, or you can find high quality images on stock photo sites like Shutterstock, Pixabay, and the likes. At this point, you can see that the design is already completed, and if you followed all the steps that I have talked about previously, you would see that it is not so difficult. Now, to crown it all, I decided to add some bubbles just above my text, my Gemlock Cleaning Services heading, and then I added some flair as well. I just placed them strategically, and this makes my design look more realistic. And of course, we're talking about cleaning services, so it makes sense to add bubbles. So that's it. This is how I created this flyer. Let me know if it made any sense and if you're going to try this as a designer.